Hey guys, Alex here from Maxum BJJ. Check us out on the web, www.maxumbjj.com. Okay, I'm going to show you guys right now a combination of moves. It's going to be started from the Crucifix, and it's going to be somewhat of a combination between a double bar arm, which is a wrestling move if you're not familiar, and an armbar. So we're going to start from my opponent's internal position here, and I take a crucifix position. So he could have been going for my leg with a single leg or whatever it may be, and I start to trap him in this crucifix position. And there's a number of chokes and arm bars on this arm, but some of them are very difficult to finish. And as you start to finish things from a crucifix, things tend to loosen up. All right. So I'm here in my crucifix position here, and I'm looking to start to attack this wrist here one-on-one. And my opponent's smart. He's hunkering his wrist in, and he's making it very difficult. His chin is tucked. I'm having trouble getting a good grip maybe for a gi choke or whatnot. So I'm going to keep my crucifix nice and tight, really kind of keep his arms trapped in there as best I can. And I'm going to look to pry his arm out. Very similar if I was going to pry his arm out in wrestling with a single bar arm. So I'm going to clasp up my hands here, and I'm going to look to start to pry, right? Or over his head and pry. Right? And my opponent's going to be hugging his elbow down here, making it very difficult. I'm going to be pulling. And this is going to be where the fight is right here, all right, where you have somebody more of a clamming up, okay? So as I'm pulling, and I start to get some exposure on his arm here. As I start to get exposure, I want to keep bringing this down and prying. Now, once I see his hand kind of exposed, I'm going to look to switch my grip to his bicep and pull my elbow in across his back. And see how I bring my chest up to do this? I can't stay down here doing this. I need to make the space with my chest as I'm prying this up to get this arm underneath here. Once I have this position, if I need at any point, I can clasp up to reassure that it's not going to get pulled back in. Okay? Now, here's a very important thing. I cannot let him limp on this crucifix out. Okay? He's going to be feeling a lot of pressure, and he's going to be trying to get anything he can free. Okay? He's trying to roll and whatnot. So I need to stay very tight and very strong here. Now I'm going to take one leg out of this crucifix, and I'm going to work this leg around his head here. Now, I am going to post on the mat right now for this, so I'm not putting all my weight as I crash down on Dennis, but you don't need to. As I fall, I want to lean my hip towards his head. The reason why I'm going to do this is that way I don't have him landing on my opposite knee, allowing me to catch this arm bar. So I want my hip to fold this way, which is allowing this knee to come up. I have this hand to the mat just to brace the impact on Dennis right here. If I were to land and I'm here, I have his arm. Now, I'm trying to keep him from landing on my knee, escaping his knee so it comes up, and I want to keep my foot slammed to the floor and pinned towards his back as best I can to keep this arm trapped as long as I can. Okay? So now I'm here. He's in very similar like a bar arm position to wrestling. Now from here, I'm just going to look to pull this arm back into my chest best I can. So I'm using my whole body here to attack the arm bar. Now, finish at the wrist, the here or a grip. I'm looking to sit back into the arm bar here. It takes nothing to finish. If you end up losing this bottom arm and Dennis gets this bottom arm free, I'm just going to normal armbar finish. The whole trick is getting this knee free, okay? I'll do this from another angle. I'm going to take my crucifix here. Okay? Now again, I'm looking to pry this arm up and get it here. The separation between my body and his body, really quickly, here, pull, and anchor in. I'll even use my own chin here to keep this elbow back. Once I feel I have him clasped here and he can't go anywhere in this bar arm position, I'm going to look to bring my leg around his head. Now, my knee here, I don't want him landing on this leg as I pull him over. So the most important piece of this to get this finished properly is as I get that leg over his head and I have to sit my hip, I need to sit my hip to make this knee come out against his butt side. From here, I sit my hip, and I pull that knee out, keeping my foot on the floor, trapping his other arm. Okay, once I'm here, normal arm bars apply. Pinch, pull back into my chest, his tricep, finishing at the wrist. There's a crucifix, double bar arm bar. Double bar arm, double